Have you been diagnosed with pelvic organ prolapse? That is, maybe you've gone to see your gynecologist or a urogynecologist because you're dealing with symptoms like bulging in the vaginal canal, a feeling of heaviness, pressure, or fullness that's especially worse in the pelvic area as you're on your feet more or towards the end of the day. Maybe you're experiencing pain in the pelvic area or your low back, as well as potentially changes in bowel, bladder, or sexual function. If you've gone to see your gynecologist and they may be recommending a surgery to help repair this pelvic organ prolapse, to get things back to their more normal resting positions and help to shore up those loose tissues and make sure that you've got the support structures in place. For many individuals diagnosed with pelvic organ prolapse, the surgical repair option may be their best option to help them get symptom-free. But what I want to talk to you about today is what you need to be doing before and after the surgery to help optimize your healing. My name is Dr. Brooke Kalisiak. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist in St. Louis, Missouri, who is passionate about helping people recover from pelvic health conditions, whether they're undergoing surgery or trying to avoid. We want to make sure that people are able to optimize their pelvic health. In the orthopedic world, it's extremely common for patients to be told after having a shoulder surgery like a rotator cuff repair or a total knee replacement that they are going to be expected to go to rehab afterwards to help get the muscles and connective tissue and scar tissue all moving and working together the way that it should be. This is pretty much commonplace. It's even commonplace for many of these surgeries to go to a class ahead of time or do a pre-op therapy appointment to kind of get a baseline of where you're at with your movement and your strength and how everything's working together. Unfortunately, this isn't the case at all in the gynecological world. Most women undergoing prolapse repair surgery are given the very, very simple and generic instructions to lay low for 6 to 8 weeks to recovery, and then come get checked out by their surgeon, and then given the green light to return to their daily life, or potentially living with massive restrictions of not being able to lift more than 10 pounds ever again. This does not make for a functional recovery. So my message for you today is that even if you are going down the route of needing a surgery to repair your pelvic organ prolapse, it is very important to partner with a pelvic physical therapist to make sure that you optimize your body for the best recovery. In an ideal world, you'd be seeing a pelvic physical therapist for at least one preoperative visit so that we can set up a healthy baseline of where you're starting from. In this appointment, we would be assessing many different things, including your breathing pattern, your posture, how well you can contract and relax your abdominal muscles and your pelvic floor muscles, as well as your hip, back, and buttocks muscles, making sure all of those guys can coordinate together. We'd be figuring out if you've had any other surgeries and have any existing scar tissue and how well that's moving so that we can make sure we optimize it for the healing after this surgery. And we'd also be looking at how you currently do your activities on a day-to-day basis. How do you get up and down from a chair? How do you roll over in bed? So that we can teach you about techniques to use in those early healing days after surgery so that you know how to move appropriately to make sure you're minimizing your pain and you're optimizing your healing. I want to give you 2 quick tips that you can use if you are considering undergoing prolapse repair surgery and want to know how to optimize your body for recovery. These are things that I talk through on a daily basis with any of my clients who are undergoing a prolapse repair surgery. The first one is exhale with exertion. So anytime you're going to get up from a seated position, maybe roll over in bed, get out of bed, and you're going to exert in a way, I want you to think about exhaling with that. So if I'm getting up from a chair, I want to think about blowing out as I do that. By exhaling and not holding my breath, that ends up letting me release pressure out my mouth instead of putting pressure down through the pelvic area. Because that pelvic area, we want to protect it. It just had that prolapse surgical repair, and that tissue is fresh and new and needs a little bit of protection. We don't want to put a lot of adverse pressure down. So when we exhale, and release the pressure out the mouth, that can make a big difference. The second tip I give all of my patients who are going through prolapse surgery when I get to see them preoperatively is to have a pillow close by. So this one's a little big. I would recommend a smaller one, but have the pillow ready in places that you're commonly sitting or around in the house, because if you have to cough, laugh, sneeze, it can feel good to kind of hug this against your belly a little bit to give a little bit of support for that cough, laugh, or sneeze. The other thing that might feel more comfortable is we have a tendency when we cough or sneeze, especially, to maybe come down, and all of that crunching down can really feel uncomfortable on that pelvis and abdominal tissue. So it might be helpful to think about coughing up into your elbow versus really crunching the body forward. We want to minimize, again, that stress and strain in the pelvic and abdominal region, especially in those very early days post-surgery, so that we can optimize for recovery. So we talked about the need for a pre-op visit to really establish a baseline and make sure that you have good tactics in place for that early post-surgical time frame so that you can heal optimally. But it's also just as important after you get the all clear from your surgeon that you can start to move and be more active, that you partner back up with a pelvic physical therapist to make sure that the muscles and tissue in the area are healing and working as well as supported. Why do we not do this already for gynecological surgeries? These are muscles like anywhere else in our body. So depending on how your surgery was done, you may have abdominal muscles that are affected. You may have pelvic floor muscles that have been affected. There may be scar tissue on the abdomen or in the pelvic floor area that needs to be made sure that it's moving well. So we should assess this stuff to make sure that we're setting you up for a good recovery and for many years of success with this prolapse repair, versus the kind of flip side where it's super common for me to see patients at our office who have had a prolapse repair surgery 5 to 10 years ago and did well afterwards, did not do any type of pelvic floor therapy or recovery work afterwards, just kind of got the green light from the surgeon that everything looked good. But they're now 5 to 10 years later. They haven't changed any of their movement patterns, haven't changed any of their habits that potentially contributed to needing the original pelvic prolapse surgery. And now they're starting to have pelvic prolapse symptoms again. It might be the bladder issues, bowel issues, pain, heaviness, pressure, fullness in the vaginal canal. And because they've undergone that surgery once already, they don't want to do it again. So this time they're trying therapy ahead of time to see if they can avoid that surgery, which is always a great option. But my simpler request from people is to think about doing rehab after you did the original surgery so that you can prevent further problems. It's not a guarantee that you won't potentially develop prolapse later on down the road, but rehabbing the muscles appropriately, making sure you have good movement patterns and the scar tissue is moving the way that it should be, everything's coordinating and working together the way that it should be, can really significantly decrease the chance that you will need any type of surgical intervention or intervention for prolapse in the future. So that's my biggest recommendation right now, is to think about partnering with a pelvic physical therapist both before and after your prolapse repair surgery to make sure that you are optimizing the tissues for recovery and setting you up for long-term success. The hard part about this is you may have to advocate for yourself. Your surgeons are not used to advocating and prescribing pelvic physical therapy as a normal part of pre-hab and post-hab for a prolapse repair surgery. So it may be up to you specifically to ask, I would like a referral to pelvic physical therapy. This is something I'd like to do to make sure that I optimize my recovery. And honestly, there might be some surgeons who say, oh, you don't need to do that. They're just going to teach you how to do Kegel exercises. I fixed everything already with my surgical repair. And I can say that that is blatantly false. It is not just about doing Kegel exercises. It's about making sure that your entire deep core support system is working the way that it should be. And just like in the orthopedic world, post-op physical therapy is super common and is considered the gold standard of care. So my question is, why isn't it considered the standard of care for gynecological surgeries? And I want to see this change, and I want you to succeed with your prolapse repair surgery. Because we want people to succeed with their prolapse repair surgeries, if you are local to St. Louis, we will be doing an in-person class to help people understand different types of activities and things that they can do to help optimize their healing after their surgery. Our next class will be on February 25th at 6:30 p.m. We will be considering doing online options for this in the future, and we'll continue to have this class going because we want to make sure that people who are undergoing pelvic organ prolapse repair surgeries are educated on what they can do to help optimize their healing. So I'll put the link down in the comments for where you can sign up and hopefully learn more about how this may be able to assist you in your recovery. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you found it informative. We put out weekly content on pelvic health topics because we want people to be able to optimize their pelvic health throughout their lifetime. Make sure you like and subscribe our channel so that you're alerted when our next video becomes available.